Hey kid, today's story is about make-believe people, but based on real people and a real place. Oh, Magnolia Flower! Oh, I adore this story! Oh, do you, Olivia the Ostrich? Yes, but I am confused. Oh, why so? Because this is by Zora Neale Hurston. I love her work, but isn't it for grown-ups? As a matter of fact, Olivia the Ostrich, you are correct. Of course I am. But somebody said, why should a kid have to wait until they grow up to experience the wonderful writings of Zora Neale Hurston? Well, that seems like a good question. So they made Magnolia Flower a kid's book. Oh, what a brilliant idea. I know, right? Plop, 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 plop.
Oh, and I love it too.
Oh, hello, Fuchsia Fish.
I love it because there's a talking river. And I just feel like there's not enough talking rivers in books. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
What's not to love about a talking river?
That's what I'm saying as well.
All right, let's see what this talking river says to us in Magnolia Flower, which is, so floral and beautiful, right? Oh, look at the blooms blossoming, just leaping off the page in those bold and brilliant colors. I feel like it's already setting the tone before we've ever even entered the story. We're going into a forest. The brook laughed and sang. It hurled its water into sparkling dance figures up into the moonlight. The brook sang louder, louder, danced faster, faster with a teasing splash at the three leaning trees on the banks. The trees awoke and began to murmur noisily of seasons and centuries, love and birth, and the transplanting of life. Nature knows nothing of death. At last, the brook danced into the bosom of the mighty river, upsetting the plants who blushed from the moon's kisses.
That is a poetic way of saying that the brook is feeding into the river, causing a bit of a splash.
The mighty river turned in its bed and spoke. Why, O young water, do you disturb my sleep? Because, O mighty one, replied the brook, the flowers bloom, the trees and winds say beautiful things to me. The moon shines upon me with a full face, and there are people in love beneath the orange trees on my banks. No matter, scolded the river. I have seen millions of people in love, child. The river's upset because the river was really relaxed and the brook is all like splashing around. Oh, I've seen millions of people in love, child. Oh, tell me about some of them, begged the brook. Oh, well, the river muttered, I suppose brooks must be humored. So it's like the river is kind of a grown-up and the brook is kind of like the little kid and wants to know all the stories. And the grown-up is like, okay, I'll tell you. Meanwhile, these two people in love are lounging below this canopy of orange trees. Long ago, begins the story, humans who were pale of skin held a dark race of humans in bondage. The dark ones cried out in sorrow and woe, not here in my country, farther north. It's talking about farther north where people were enslaved. Rivers carried their tears to the sea, and the tide would bring some of them to me. But some of the darker ones did not weep. They fled in the night to freedom. And we can see the shadows in the trees at night. And we see people and kids and women and men fleeing, running, looking for freedom. One of them came here. Bentley was large and strong. The beasts were afraid of him. The Florida forest made way for him. Oh, so we're in a Florida forest, which means, of course, that there must be swamps. Maybe these are the Everglades. There's an alligator, there's a snake, there's a deer, there's a fox. Bentley gathered stones and metals and built a big house. Soon, a whole village of runaways hid out over here. Runaways because they're all fleeing the north, like the river said, farther north, where they were slaves, but not down here in Florida. So a whole village of runaways hid out here. They were called Maroons. They lived on an island of freedom in a vast sea of slavery. Bentley married Swift Deer, a Cherokee woman who had fled her own Trail of Tears. So the Cherokee people were fleeing the persecution of the Trail of Tears. He was fleeing freedom, and together they found a home in the same place and each other. Swift Deer and Bentley had a daughter, Magnolia Flower they called her, for she came at the time of the flower's opening. When she was 4 years old, the tide brought rumors of war over slavery. And here in the images that are so beautiful, we see boom, 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 boom. Images suggesting a great battle happening somewhere in the distance. And this war that they're talking about is the Civil War. After the war ended, slavery ended. Black people walked free on the lands of Swift Deer's ancestors. Wind and water again grew sweet. Magnolia Flower started to fully bloom.
And that is a poetic way of saying that our star, Magnolia Flower, was growing up. Oh, just like you, kid, growing up.
One day, as the sun gave me a goodnight kiss, remember, that's the river talking. As the sun gave me a goodnight kiss and the stars began their party, I bore a young man named John, about Magnolia's age. Oh, so this man, John, came down the river as well. And there they are meeting. John did not have much money, but he had many words. Look at that. We see a book in his hands. That's where some of the words are coming from. Swift Deer liked him. That's Magnolia's mom. Bentley did not. That's Magnolia's dad. He wanted a man of metals, not words, for Magnolia.
And that is a poetic way of saying that the dad wanted a man with coins, with money, for Magnolia, not a man who was a poet. Oh.
Before 2 weeks had passed, John had taught Magnolia to read strange marvels with her dark eyes, and she had taught John to sing with his. Oh, how words love. Love knows nothing of death. And look at them, the words, the ideas, the song, the emotion filling the air around them like a bird singing. And right there, some KidTime Storytimes, although they're probably teenagers, so instead of KidTime Storytime, it's probably more like Teen Time Storytime. Soon, Bentley had had enough of their love. Enough, Magnolia, I do not approve. He locked John in a room in the house. Tears, tears, all stayed away. All feared Bentley, the dad. But not Magnolia. As her father slept, she went and freed John. Look, there they are, running away from the house. 1 minute more, and they flew down the path to the 3 leaning trees, into the boat, away, northward. They're leaving.
Oh, they're eloping. This is the only way that they can be together.
This all happened more than 40 years ago, as humans reckon time, River said. Magnolia Flower has passed from the hearts of people who knew her. Bentley and Swift Deer died. Freedom for Black and Native people died too. The tide brought all their tears to me. And their joy. And their love. Their love is mighty and ever-flowing like me. The brook had listened, thrilled to its very bottom at times. The river spoke calmly on, flowing under the moon as it moved to the sea. An old couple picked their way down to the water's edge. It's been 47 years, John, Magnolia said sweetly. Do you think we can find the place?
Chills, chills, chills. It's them. They're back.
Why, yes, Magnolia, my flower, unless they have cut down our trees. But if they are standing, we'll know them.
Magnolia Flower and her love have returned to the place where they first met.
There they are, Magnolia pointed. They hugged the trunks of the 3 leaning trees, then hugged each other and sat down shyly upon the heaped up roots. John, listen. Did you ever hear a river make such a sound? Magnolia whispered. Why, it seemed almost as if they were talking. And look at the reflection in the water. Maybe it's welcoming us back, John said. Maybe, Magnolia beamed. I always felt that the river knew all about you and me. And there they are, leaning against those tall, soft, cool grasses, feet in the cool water, letting the grasses and the water swirl around them in this beautiful place, this place where their love story began. And also her own parents' love story began.
Yeah, 2 star-crossed loves meeting in the middle of a Florida forest and finding love and freedom together. And then their child finding love and having to flee so they could have freedom to love as well. The drama, the poetry,
The beauty of Zora Neale Hurston's writing. And look at that, kid. You didn't have to wait to grow up to get to experience it for yourself.